Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Necessity Talk Show. Today we have a very special guest. Honestly, an amazing performer, an amazing artist, an amazing rapper. Give it up for the Jon Bolds.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
Yeah, go ahead, introduce yourself, man.
Listen, like you said before, my name is Jon Bolds. I'm from Philly. You know what I mean? We came out here for college, got settled down here, but still Philly is my home. I'm a rapper, I'm an artist. I do it all, man. I do a little bit of everything. Like I told you, I was just shooting a movie. Came back home and recorded. So that's pretty much what I do, man.
So tell us your story. How did you get into music?
I mean, man, simply off of the fact that, coming from where I come from, man, we don't really get to talk about much. You dig what I'm saying? We don't get to talk about much. So therefore, just being isolated, bro. Like I was just isolated and I just needed a way to get my emotions out. You dig what I'm saying? So after a while, I was just like, my brother, he rapped. And I was like, yo, let me decide to let me see what this about. You know what I mean? Like just writing my feelings down. And I started taking a liking to it and I started to find it to be therapeutic. So I just kept with it, man. And then it just kept growing. And I was like, I think this is something I like.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So yeah.
When did you start to see the music, really start to when did you start to reap the fruits of your labor, with the music?
Bro, that's such a funny question. Because it's like I have so many with music, just like art, as you know, bro, it's really like about momentum. It's all about momentum when you talk about reaping benefits or whatever the case may be. So I had several moments of reaping benefits. I think I just had several moments in general where, for me, like I feel like God was just showing me, yo, you in the right lane, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like keep on going where you're going. So that happened several times, but I would say honestly, to a point where it's like gives you even more confidence. I would say about 2022, to be completely honest with you. So yeah.
Was that like the first time when you were like, whoa, like my music is actually doing something, and I can do something with this?
No, not the first time, but it was the time where I think it was the time that I needed it most.
Mm-hmm.
It was the time where you start to hit a certain age where you're like, okay, what am I really doing? You know what I mean? Like, can I really do this? And doubt creeps in. But then in 2022, there was a lot of moments, reassuring moments and calming moments, because I'm just an anxious guy sometimes. You know what I mean? And where I just had to step back and calm myself and what was going on with either booking shows or people asking about music or people responding to the music in a really good way. It just allowed me to like take a step back. Okay, God got me. Let me just cruise, bro.
Yeah.
But there was other times as well. But yeah.
What would you say is like who is your biggest inspiration
From a rap standpoint,
for music, in general?
dang. I think I would have to say it's a two-way tie between West Side Boogie or J. Cole, honestly. A little bit of Lil Craig too. I'm not gonna lie. Lil Craig's up there. But let's go with West Side Boogie. I really like the way he carries himself. And the way how honest he is. He's a very, very honest musician. You know what I'm saying? So and then the style choices. I don't know if you heard of him. Have you heard of West Side Boogie?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You a good guy. You know what I mean? Like his ability to snap in and out of different pockets, to be deep, but at the same time not take himself too serious. He speaks on his background, but the realities of his background, not really praising it, but not really crapping on the people that he grew up with at the same time. I really like that. You know what I mean? And I can resonate with it. You feel me? So I would definitely say a lot of West Side Boogie.
Yeah. Where would you say that like music has taken you that you wouldn't have expected it to take you?
I mean, honestly, deals, contract deals on the table, music placements, uh, having my, like I said, I grew up, I love acting as well.
Mm-hmm.
For the longest time, I didn't think that they would combine, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought the music would be the music, the acting would be acting. But like the music has opened up doors even more so for acting, right? In that regard, certain stages, like I think I performed. The most people I performed in front of was 500, and that's not a lot to people. But for somebody like me, um, who you had self doubts, you had the inability to like where the stage was just crippling for you for some time. To sit in front of 500 people and have everybody listen to you. I think that right there was surprising to me. Right, you got people knocking on the door, like good labels, major labels, asking you, "Yo, like, so what you about?" And you know that you're making noise from that standpoint. I think it's a blessing within itself for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
What was that moment like when you got offered a deal for the first time? Like, how did that affect you?
I was panicking, to be completely honest with you. I was panicking. Um, I didn't know what to think because I'm thinking, okay, this is it, this is it, this is it. Everything about to change, and then to the point where I'm thinking to myself, man, like when you really are living what you talk about, the reality sets in of like, so in certain raps when I was younger, like, yo, I ain't got no money, right? That's a truth to me. So now when you put money in front of my face, um, now I question my worth, right? I question what I'm going to do with this. So if you throw $10,000 in front of my face, and I don't know what $10,000 look like, I might jump at that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it just made me very anxious, and it made me want to sign. It made me not want to read the contract. Yeah. But thank God that I had brothers around me, who's like, wait, bro, you might not see your worth, but I think, let's say for instance, I think $5,000 is enough of an advance. And I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, I just asked you for $20 the other day. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, nah, we not, don't sign that, bro. Or there's certain things in the contract about like, for me, I'm big on me being able to speak about what I need to speak about, right? In certain contracts, they got creative clause where we can literally pigeonhole you from saying certain things or talking about certain things. And I'm like, hold up, like that's never been me. Like I said from the question that you asked earlier, everything's very therapeutic. So how can you shut off what I need to get done for me? Yeah, you feel me? So it was just like a learning process. I was anxious, I was excited, and I was gracious to know that people are checking it out. You feel me? So yeah. How do you,
As an artist, how do you make sure that you're staying authentic and true to yourself with your music? Because especially with like rap music, it's usually like real braggadocious and there's a lot of like flaunting and whatnot. How do you make sure that you're staying true to yourself and like authentic with who you are as an artist?
I think number one is that it's the company you keep, for real, for real. Like if I say a line, number one, I think I write line for line. I don't do 4 bar setups like a lot of people. Like there's 4 bar setups, but I write line for line. So I gotta proofread every line before I put it out there. Number two, like I said, it's the community that you keep around you. If I say, bro, I'm riding in a Ferrari, my man will literally look at me like, bro, now you know you was just in a Chevy yesterday, bro. Stop playing around. Yeah. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you when you stack around authentic people, it's kind of hard to not be authentic yourself. You know what I mean? Because everybody gonna know you. Like even if people start liking the music that's not necessarily you, the people who hold a lot of weight from an opinion standpoint in your life, they know what's up. And after a while, it hurts to not be authentic, right? It hurts to try to change who you are for a bunch of folks who don't know you, as opposed to the people who do know you. So I think God blessed me with the ability to pick real good friends, for real, for real. So yeah, that's and it's easy once you start liking yourself. Honestly, like you ain't gotta be somebody else when you start liking yourself. Like I don't gotta have a Ferrari to know that I got a good life. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
And did it take you time to develop that circle of like authentic, true people, or has that been a lot of people who you've always been surrounded with?
Always been surrounded with.
Word.
Yeah, keep it a beat. Yeah. Friends wasn't really a problem for me. In certain pockets it was, but then in those moments I just had to focus on myself. But a lot of times, I normally had thorough people around me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
How are you able to, balance your artistry with business? Because I know sometimes, some people have to like not necessarily cut corners, but like bend a little bit, for business aspects versus like, what they truly want to do with their artistry. Have you ever faced anything like that? And if you have, how do you balance that?
Yeah. I mean, even with the contracts that's on the table, or certain things when it comes to concerts and stuff like that, I just when I read the fine print and when I read what you're asking of me or what you want to take from me, I really got to have a checklist of what I'm willing to give and what I'm willing to take. You see what I'm saying? So for everything, so when it comes to a business aspect, business is always going to be business, but I'd rather do it with somebody who I'm personally familiar with. You feel me? Like, so I can't trust you. Me and my man was talking in the car. It's funny. I'm very much so. One pet peeve of mine is when people assume positions. Don't don't come in here on a business meeting act like we real big homies when we not big homies. Talk to me like I'm a product because that's how you looking at me when I'm not here, and we gonna handle it like that. You feel me? So when it comes to the business aspect, I would much rather do it with people who I have personal relationships with because I need to be able to trust you in the business because a business is a partnership. You know, and even from the business side of things, I had to learn myself as an independent artist. How do I cut corners without even knowing it? Right? How am I shortchanging myself or how am I cheating other people? Right? When I was a young boy, one way of cutting corners that I didn't even know, I'm just thinking, okay, I'm just rapping over anybody beat. I'll take say you produced a beat, you put it on YouTube. I stripped it. I downloaded it legally, rap over it, and now I put it on Apple Music because you ain't copyright your beat right. I just did you dirty. Like you see what I'm saying without you even knowing it. For me, I'm just rapping. But it's like in the long run, that's gonna come and bite me. So say I get 30 million views on it, and now you done heard your song on the radio, and you like, oh, now it's time to collect. So it's like it pays to do your research early, and as opposed to like hurting yourself in the long run. Because now all my credibility gone. You know what I mean? I might get fame off the song, but you ain't getting no money off of it. You know what I'm saying? So from a business aspect, it's really just being personal about it. That's why I'm really blessed to have the producer that I have. The producer that I have right now is one of my brothers. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he's a producer, engineer, he mix and master everything. And it's like I can trust you, dog. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's different when you in a business with somebody you trust. Period.
Yeah. So I know every artist has, struggles sometimes and pitfalls that they sometimes fall into. What are some pitfalls that you found yourself in, with your artistry, and how have you been able to get yourself out of those pitfalls?
The two biggest ones probably is momentum and my own me getting in my own way. What momentum is the aspect of the deeper you get into this and the more successful you want to become, and the more I feel like God reveals to you as far as your path, the more people you got to bring along with you. When you're younger, when you first getting into things, you can run everything by yourself. The more mature you get in everything, you might need more legs, right, for the wheels. You can't be the vehicle by yourself. You're gonna need an engineer. You're gonna need a videographer. You're gonna need a marketer, a manager, and this and the third. You can't do that all by yourself anymore, right? So the more brains that are involved leads to more conversations, which could lead to more confrontation. Because all five people that I just mentioned, even in this scenario, have different ways of thinking, right? And different ways of how the brand should work, and different work ethics. You dig what I'm saying? That's a hard word to say. Different work ethics. So like me, I'm pretty much type A. Like I'm very organized, ironically, and certain people might not be. They might be like more, oh, like if I'm feeling it, here we go. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then secondly would just be like getting in your own way with like self doubt, just mental health. You know what I mean? Like make sure you get a grip on that because it can smoke you out. Again, my man told me before he was saying to me, we was at this one concert and this one person was just they weren't good. They just weren't good, but they had amazing amount of confidence, bro. Like their confidence was through the roof. You literally seen people walking away from the stage while they were performing, and they kept going. And he said to me, he was like, "Yo, you have no reason to not be confident, bro. You go up there and you saying something, right? So you have no reason to not be confident, bro. Like the industry gonna eat you alive if you don't think highly of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So those were the two things. And the way I got myself out of it, honestly, was just being around people that can lift you up. You know what I mean? When you be honest with them and you tell them, listen, bro, like my ego can be a little frail sometimes. You know what I mean? It can be a little hurtful sometimes. Like I can read a YouTube comment and it can affect me, right? Number one is the tough love of yo, you're gonna have to get over that, dog. Number two is the bro, you fire. People that can encourage you when you need it. And then with the mindset thing, sometimes just because you are the face of the brand doesn't mean other people can't implement ideas as well. And just humbling yourself and allowing people to work with you, not necessarily for you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah. You said recently that you had started a movie.
Yes.
You know, what was this experience like, and how was it different from usually like making music?
Yeah. It was a great experience. Outside of one incident, I was about to punch somebody, but not one set. It was somebody outside the set. But other than that, it was cool. It was great cast, great people. I worked with them before, and it's really nice being around people that really know what they're doing and want to work and want to just really be big, right, and really make an impact. So it was a great time. Uh, I think this is my second leading role on the camera. Um, I can't remember, but it was the script was good. So when the script's good, as you know, as a director, when the script's good, a lot can take care of itself. I had some bad scripts come in front of me that we had to turn down. But the difference, honestly, is with film specifically, because I've been on the stage and I've been on film. With film, it's kind of a cheat code, but it's kind of hard to stay in the moment. You got to do whatever you can to stay in the moment. So when you rapping, or when you recording, like the stop and starts, that's like film. You know what I'm saying? But when you're on stage performing, you got one time, you go, I rap, either the first 30 seconds I catch you or I don't, right? For film, you got to find a way, even if my character is motivated, even if like the plot leads up to the moment, right? Right? All you see as an audience is the edits. You hear the music behind it. You hear how dramatic it is. You've seen the scene before. As a person in that scene, we might have shot the first scene that you've seen before 2 days ago, and then came back to this super dramatic scene and had to run it 30 times.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like it's hard because you got to motivate yourself to stay in it, and you really got to buy into who you believe you are in that moment behind the camera. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
How do you, since you do so many, like you wear so many hats with your artist shoes, like how do you make sure that you're finding the right moves and like the right path to go into? Like how do you make sure that you're saying, all right, this is right for me right now, and so I'm going to focus on this a little bit more than I would rather focus on like this?
Trial and error, honestly. Before I try to run at the same time for everything, that ain't gonna work. When you wear too many hats, bro, like it's okay to have a lot of different hats, but if you put all of them on at the same time, you just look like an idiot. It's not fashion anymore. You dig what I'm saying? So, what I do is I pace myself. When I'm in album mode, I don't audition for nothing, and when I'm in auditioning mode, I'm not writing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'll write in a spur of the moment, but I'm like, all right, this is my season to let's get out there. Let's get in a film. Let's get on stage. But I won't stop myself from overlapping sometimes. But you really got to know when it's too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like really understand and take time to know yourself to understand when it's too much. So yeah.
What sparked that like creativity within you? Like what made you say like, hey, I want to be on stage. I want to make music. I want to be in movies. I want to be on like stage.
Yeah.
Like what sparked that?
To be completely honest with you, bro, one thing was I didn't have cable when I was a young boy, so I cherished the moments when we would see like Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and because it didn't run on like the local channels in Philly. So the moments where I got to see it, I'm like, yo, this Will guy, he tough. You know what I mean? Like everybody love him, this and the third. And then, you know what I mean, being somebody who was loved, but at the same time not understanding that I was loved, you know what I mean, by different communities and even my homies outside, whatever the case may be. That leads to a lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem. But you're looking at this guy named Will Smith, and it's like, dang, like he could be whoever you want to be. You know what I'm saying? So it came out of a dark place. You feel me? Like both times, like what I told you earlier, where music started off as venting, you don't talk to nobody. Acting started the same way. Dang, I don't want to be myself right now. I want to be something else. You dig what I'm saying? But then after a while, I'm like, yo, I just really am finding fun with this, with creating. You dig what I'm saying? So now it's at the point where, yo, I found myself through these mediums. You know what I'm saying? And the more organic I became, I found a solidified identity. You dig what I'm saying? And it's just like, okay, cool. Like now I just want to create. Now it's not, when I get on stage and I become a different character, it's not about, I'm not trying to be John. It's no, like, I want to see how John does this. You see what I'm saying? Like how does John play X, Y, and Z character? You see what I'm saying? And transform himself. How does John write about X, Y, and Z status? And it's really just a fun process for me now. You know what I mean? So yeah.
How do you make sure that you're continuing to push yourself and making sure that you're evolving as an artist?
Shoot, man. That's a really good question. I think it would be the collaboration piece. You don't never really gotta push yourself when you by yourself. When you in your own room, when you writing your own films, when you auditioning and not showing nobody, or you're not getting in a room with talent, or writing with talent, it's okay to judge yourself, right? But when you get into the room with people who will really take your head off, like I've been sitting down with guys, like I said, my brother raps, and to this, I think I like the way he put words together. I can't do it. You feel me? Like he's amazing. My brother, that's off camera right now, crazy, like crazy, and it's like, yo, it's a healthy fear of I want to work with the monsters for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a Philly boy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I'm not. You know what I mean? Like these my guys. Number one, I know I'm not bringing. I'm about to smoke something, and I know they coming with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we about to make the best product possible. If you come with your full potential that I know you can do, and I come with my full potential, okay, yeah. Like people gonna pick what verses they like, but this about to be a nice song. And I just working with people that you admire. If you work with people that you don't admire, it's gonna be boring. You're gonna write low, like depending on who you are. You know what I'm saying? I'll write with people that I want to work with. You know what I'm saying? That I'm like, yo, you really tough. And from an acting standpoint, you could tell if you're a director, so you probably acted before. You could tell who's really like that on camera, right? I was again this weekend when I was acting, my wife in the film. I'm standing across from her. I'm like, yo, she's amazing. Like if I do not commit to this character, I'm going to get smoked, and this film is going to be let down. You feel me? So it's like you got no choice but to bring it. You feel me? Not even from a competitive standpoint, but people are depending on you. You feel me? And that's how you keep pushing yourself. Get around people you admire.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you say to somebody who's interested in like getting into any sort of creative endeavors, but doesn't really know where to start, doesn't really know where to go or what direction to head in? What advice would you give to somebody like that?
So number one, it depends on the age. It depends on what age you are. Number two, but let's say like college. Let's go with college person. And you want to get into music. I would tell them, number one, I would sit down with a series of questions. How serious are you about it? What's your end goal, right? Are you trying to make a living off of this? Because that's different from just being a creative outlet for you, right? So once you hammer that stuff out, then I can tell you where to go. But I will always, normally for anybody in music, I would start with hit open mic. You know what I mean? Like write something, hit open mic. Like, because at the end of the day, if you want to be heard, if music is for you, then nobody has to hear it. But if you want to be heard, you got to train yourself to be willing to be heard, right? Because depending on how your performance is, if you're shelled off and this, that, and the third, nobody's going to book you for a concert. Nobody's going to book you for a venue, and nobody's going to listen to you, even if you are there. So get your feet wet at open mic, right? You can have amazing lyrics, amazing production. If you don't present it the right way, nobody's going to want it. As far as acting goes, again, what do you want out of this? Both of these lanes are something that a million people are in.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks they're good in these lanes. So get your confidence up. Get comfortable being behind camera and being critiqued for both music and acting. Because lyrically you're going to be critiqued. Performance you're going to be critiqued. Same thing with movies. Same thing with being on stage. So, and then after that, hit an acting school. Hit an acting school. There's free acting classes that you can go to. And then audition local theaters. See what small roles you can get to start running for people.
And yeah, finally, thank you for sitting down with me, man.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate this. Go ahead and tell the people where they can find you.
Listen, man, you can find Jon Bolds, JonBolds, over at Instagram, over on my website, jonbolds.com. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube at It's Jon Bolds. Again, JONBOLDS. Just hit me, man. Listen, and sign up for that mailing list over at my website too. You might be dropping some stuff. So yeah.
Word, appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Word.